this is Bowser, King of Koopa Kingdom. My children ignore me all the long day. In fact, they once rebelled, ignorant against me. And then in my dungeon they were safely locked away. They hate me more and more each time I see them, but I just smile and walk my merry way. I really don't care that they hate me that much, because I am Bowser, and that is what I say. I try to kidnap Peach, but I never do it right. It always ends up me and Mario getting in a fight. You see, we never get along together all that well, and I'll never have success as far as I can tell. And that's why I'm angry half of the time, because I never am successful, but I think I'm doing fine. Princess Peach hates me, much as my children do. And if you really ask me, no, it's really nothing new. I always get defeated after every time I try. I end up on my back, looking up at the sky. I get thrown into bombs, I get blown up in flames. And I'm smart enough to know that Mario's to blame. He grabs me by my tail, I see the look in his eye. There's nothing I can do except to roar and cry. Try as I might, I'm then flung out of sight. So then I can develop a new super cunning plight. One day I'll steal the Princess Peach right out of her castle. Starts a fuss and then she'll cause a great hassle. It really doesn't matter all that much to me when the kingdom sees success and I'm celebrity. I'll marry Peach and then she'll have to be my queen. She will woo with me and be the best I've seen. So the bottom line of this is that I'm gonna win. I'll flame Mario, be the best king ever been.
Peace out of the castle. I've been keeping. Here's truly Princess Toadstool.
So, this is Bowser, King of Koopa Kingdom. My children ignore me all the long day. In fact, they once rebelled, ignorant against me. And then in my dungeon they were safely locked away. They hate me more and more each time I see them, but I just smile and walk my merry way. I really don't care that they hate me that much.
Hello, everybody. It's me, Bowser64, and thank you for joining me for another stream. We're going to be repairing our DS Lite in this stream. That's right, our DS Lite right here. Well, you can't see it on camera right now, but you will later. Don't worry about that. But anyway, we are going to be repairing it. We have kind of a problem with our L and R buttons. We did a recent disassembly of our console, our Nintendo DS Lite, and we did a lot of work on it, and it didn't really, it was really surprising to me when I put it back together that the L and R buttons didn't work though. So that's what we're going to be doing in this stream, is kind of disassembling it, trying to figure out what's causing that issue and try to fix it. So don't forget to follow me on Twitter, YouTube, Mixer, and Twitch, guys, at BowserN64, and I will see you around very soon with the stream.
I'm then flung out of sight, so then I can develop a new super cunning plight. I'll steal the Princess Peach right out of her castle. She'll start a fuss and then she'll cause a great hassle.
So originally I thought that I was just going to repair this, but then I realized, you know what, I haven't streamed in a while. What better thing to do on a stream than actually go and repair like stuff that I'm working on? I mean, if I'm going to work on it, why not work on it with you guys at the same time, right? So thanks so much for being here, guys. Really appreciate it. We will be starting soon. Just making sure I have all my tools and everything in order to start repairing my Nintendo DS Lite.
So, this is Bowser, King of Koopa Kingdom. My children ignore me all the long day. In fact, they once rebelled, ignorant against me. And then in my dungeon they were safely locked away. They hate me more and more each time I see them, but I just smile and walk my merry way. I really don't care that they hate me that much, because I am Bowser, and that is what I say. I try to kidnap Peach, but I never do it right. It always ends up me and Mario getting in a fight. You see, we never get along together all that well, and I'll never have success as far as
this is good. It's yummy, yummy, yummy.
Because I never am successful, but I think I'm doing fine. Princess Peach hates me, much as my children do. And if you really ask me, no, it's really nothing new. I always get defeated after every time I try. I end up on my back, looking up at the sky. I get thrown into into bombs, I get blown up in flames. And I'm smart enough to know that Mario's to blame. He grabs me by my tail, I see the look in his eye. There's nothing I can do except to roar and cry. Try as I might, I'm then flung out of sight. So then I can develop a new super cunning plight. I'll steal the princess peach right out of her castle. She'll quickly start a fuss and then she'll cause a great hassle. It really doesn't matter all that much to me. When the kingdom sees success and I'm celebrity, I'll marry Peach and then she'll have to be my queen. She will woo with me and be the best ruler ever seen. So the bottom line of this is that I'm gonna win. I'll flame Mario, be the best king ever been.
Feast on the castle. I've been keeping. Yours truly, Princess Toadstool.
Alright guys, we're going to be going online. I understand that probably a lot of people right now are busy and they're not going to be able to come on the stream and watch. That's perfectly okay. The main reason I'm streaming right now is just because I have the time right now. And I'm going to go ahead and I just try to stream whenever I can, you know? So this will publish as a replay, so whoever wants to can watch it then. Not a big deal. And we got somebody who joined the YouTube. That's pretty awesome. Thank you so much for being here. So the stream is starting soon in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What?
Because I never am. Welcome to YouTube. I make videos.
What's up everybody, it's me Bowser64. Thank you so much for joining me for another stream. We're going to be repairing our Nintendo DS Lite today. That's right, our Nintendo DS Lite. We've had some problems with this console. Mainly the L and R buttons are not working anymore. So what we're going to do is we're going to tear into this thing and try to repair it. So I'm super excited about that. Hope you guys are excited too. This is a great console. Had it a while. This actually is not the original iteration of the hardware. I've taken this apart several times and actually refurbished things and things like that. And it looks like we're going to get to do that yet again. So that's going to be super exciting. And hey, we got somebody on the stream. Hey, welcome to the stream. Good to see you, man. Oka Palada, I believe this what that says. I can't read the chat window from here. Let me go ahead and switch my chat. Here we go. Ah, Kuka Patata. Nice. I like that. I like that username. So yeah, basically guys, what we're doing is we're going to disassemble our Nintendo DS Lite today, and we're going to take it apart. We got to get the back off of this thing. And then we're going to go ahead and actually be able to get to the internal workings of this system. And then once we're in there, we're going to try to get these L and R buttons working again. Because these L and R buttons, it's like I'll be tapping on them and they're not responding. So I don't know why that is. It really bothers me. I may have to actually order a new main board for this, like a new motherboard, and install that. And we'll probably be covering that on a stream as well. But basically, I think that where it sits right now, we're going to have to do at least a partial disassembly to figure out what is going on. So, yeah. By the way, guys, don't forget to follow me before we start the main content of the stream here at all these great locations. You got my Discord link right there. You can go ahead and go to my Discord server and chat with me in real time. Just pop that in your browser, hit the accept button, and you will be in the server. Pretty awesome. And we're also on Twitch at BowserN64, Mixer at BowserN64, Facebook at Bowser Koopa, and Twitter at BowserN64. So if you feel like donating or donating to the stream, anything like that, you can go to streamlabs.com/BowserN64 as well. And again, don't forget to follow me at all those great locations right there. So thank you so much for watching, guys. All right, so we're going to go ahead and switch to the main camera here, and we're going to see what we can do. So basically, this is kind of my case mod of, well, it's really just switching out the different cases and different parts when I did service on this thing last time. So basically what I'm trying to do here, hey Savage Gamer, what's up? Okay, Okay, you got an entrance now. What's up, Savage Gamer? Good to see you. So yeah, basically I'm going to be taking apart this Nintendo DS Lite here and trying to fix the L and R buttons because they are not responding. Oddly enough, the R button is responding, but mostly it's only responding if I'm like really hammering it like this. You can see I'm really pushing it to get it to work. And the L button's just not working at all. So basically that's what we're having to do here. So we got our trusty screwdriver set and we got our electronic cleaner, and we're just going to slide over here a little bit. All right, so we got everything good to go, I believe. All right, I think that we are good to go and we can go ahead and start. So I got my trusty electronics cleaner right here, and this stuff is really good. I'm going to spray it into my system. Probably that's going to be the first step, is tear down into the system and get to the L and R buttons, and then we're going to spray this thing all over the contacts. So hopefully that will, if there's anything in there, it'll dislodge it or dissolve it, and hopefully they'll work. If it's blocked because of like sweat or grime or who knows what else got lodged in the workings of it. But yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and flip this over real quick here, and we're going to switch to our super awesome zoom level, and there we go. So you can see it still has the serial number on it and everything. It's pretty awesome. So first of all, we're going to take our cartridges out, our game card out. Take this out first. We're going to just kind of place it over there. Yeah, so we'll place it right there. And then we're going to go ahead and take our Game Boy Advance cartridge slot protector out. This is actually the one from my Nintendo DS that's black. So I have a black DS Lite and this white one, and I kind of like switched out the parts and stuff like that. Because the teardown of this is actually quite complicated. Once you get the back off, that's the easy stuff. But like if you want to like replace the hinge or anything like that, I mean, it's easier just to swap parts than it is to tear down through those parts. So that's actually what I'm trying to do here, is just kind of do what I can do without really overextending myself. So yeah. And so we're going to go ahead and get our trusty screwdrivers here. We're going to get our tri-wing screwdriver. And we don't need the electronics cleaner here right now, so I'm going to move it. And as space is at a premium here, and I'm gonna zoom back out a little bit here. All right, so I'm going to choose my awesome screwdriver set and going to get everything good to go here. So I think Toad broke the DS. Yeah, probably. He breaks just about everything he touches. So I don't actually even need this tri-wing screwdriver anymore, because I have a tri-wing attachment right here in my set, because it's a very awesome complete set. And so what I'm going to do is just kind of see where that is. Let's see, we got a tri-wing there. Thought we had a smaller tri-wing than that. Oh, that's not tri-wing. I'm looking at the wrong thing. Let's see. We've got those are star drive. That's still star drive. There's the tri-wing right there. All right. So we got this tri-wing screwdriver attachment out now. We're gonna go ahead and put that into our trusty screwdriver here. Alright. So basically this is the fun part, guys. We get to disassemble. And yeah. Basically we're gonna need to take the battery out before we do anything else. Which is, you know, common sense 101. But it is what it is, you know. I love this screwdriver because it's magnetic, so I just like pop this out and I can really interchange the tips pretty quickly. So now we got a Phillips screwdriver head, and we're going to take out the battery. So let's just go ahead and get that out of there right here. I'm not really like in super professional like radio DJ voice mode right now. I'm just kind of like talking like normal because I'm just focusing on a lot. This is a more involved stream than just like, you know, the hanging loose ones or the stuff like that. So basically, I'm just kind of like chilling out right now, trying to get this fixed. And as you can see, it's pretty difficult to get this off. Oh, we probably should take the stylus out too, right? That might be a good idea. Maybe. Let's go ahead. Oh, there we go. Okay. So it just kind of like comes out like that. See? Pretty easy. And there's the Nintendo DS Lite battery. Pretty awesome. Rechargeable battery pack. 1000 mAh. This is the reason our DSs die so quickly, guys. 1000 mAh. That's really not that big. Considering that phones have like way more than 1000 nowadays. Alright. So we're going to take that out here. And yeah, so we got the compartment exposed here. I had Toad come in 12th place at the award ceremony in Mario Kart Wii. Nice, Savage Gamer. That's hilarious. Sorry guys, I haven't been streaming like I usually do. The main reason is just because I haven't really had time. And when I did have time, I wanted to do other stuff. Like, I'm hoping like today, guys, to when I have some time finally, to watch Mystery Science Theater 3000, Atlantic Rim. Make them like watch them make fun of that movie. That'll be pretty fun. So I keep looking at this cartridge because on the camera it looks like there's something in there, but there's not. So we still have a couple Phillips head screws to remove. So there's one up here, and I got that right there. I'm just going to go ahead and remove that. Now, one thing I like to do, guys, and I've learned this the hard way, is to always have some place to put your screws and to put your stuff that you're working on. When you take screws out, you don't want to lose them. What I do is I use a candle holder, and I make that my screw bin. So it's my screw keeper. So basically, all the little things I take out, I'm gonna put over there into that bin here. I'm gonna zoom out a little bit, guys. There we go. Okay, so we got basically everything set up. The camera angles are working really smooth, which I'm very excited about. So I think that's pretty awesome. And there we go. We got a screw coming out. Look at that. Woo! All right, let's go ahead and put that. Oh, almost lost it. See, that's exactly what I'm talking about, guys. You want to have it like put right there in the little bin. And the rest are tri-wings, so I'm going to go over here for this Phillips head over here in the battery compartment. Take that one out. I use my ice tray as a screw keeper. Yeah, that works too. I like this because it's nice and shallow and I can reach into it pretty easily and get my screws out again. Now, in all honesty, guys, those of you who are diehard computer disassembly people, hold that thought. I'm trying to get it out of the plastic here. Honestly, guys, I should be using these anti-static gloves and also this anti-static wristband, which you clip this to whatever you're working on, something metal in the computer or chassis, and that way you're grounded. You don't send static electricity shocks to whatever you're repairing. But you know what? This is like, it's cheap enough and it's old enough and it already has problems. So if it gets fried, I don't really care so much about it because I could just order new components for it like very easily. So that's why I'm not using all that fancy stuff. Normally I would have that stuff on. Like when I actually did a video of me upgrading my my hard drive in my computer with a solid state. So, and I did use the anti-static gloves and wristband for that because, you know, $3,000 worth of computer laptop, you don't really want to fry that, you know what I'm saying? So there we go. And this is pretty cool. This actually looks like it's original, mostly. Just trying to check in the light and see if those are tri-wings. I think they are tri-wings, so I'm just going to go ahead and put a different head on my screwdriver here and take those out. So, I mean, you can do this without a screw keeper. Some place to keep your screws organized and neat and out of the way and from getting lost. But I have lost screws that way more often than I would care to admit. So I'm thinking I probably shouldn't, you know. By the way, guys, I know that there's a lot of detail in this stream, and at 480p you're not going to see tons of it. I've tried to get as good a camera angles as I can get. But this is going to publish in 1080p when I have better internet. I'm going to go ahead and upload the copies of my recordings here of this stream in 1080p. So you'll get to see the whole shebang of what's going on then. And I don't know why this won't come out. It's really annoying. I guess those aren't really easy to just kind of lift out of there. Oh well. So we're gonna go ahead and zoom in again, guys, so you can see what we're doing. And that was the Phillips screw. Normally I do this in like just a few seconds. I get all these screws out, but I'm just kind of going at a leisurely pace because honestly I'm kind of honestly, I'm kind of dreading getting into this because I'm really afraid that I won't be able to fix it. And oh, that's a Phillips head. So there's another Phillips head in there. So yeah, I'm basically dreading getting into this, guys, like I was saying, because I'm afraid that I won't be able to fix it because I'll have to order a new motherboard for this thing. I hope that screw is not stripped out. I think it might be. That's going to be tricky to get out. Alright. I'm going to take these other ones off first. The ones that I can get to. Okay, well that one won't come out either. Next thing we're going to do is take the screw out of the cartridge slot. Alright. So that screw that's kind of stripped out is going to be a little bit tricky to get. I think we're going to have to go up a size to another screwdriver Phillips head. So I'll probably go to this Phillips head right here. Mod your Wii so you can play GameCube games. It plays GameCube disc anyway, doesn't it? Or is that the one you actually have to mod it to make it able to do that? Okay. Let's see if I can get... Yes! I got it! I think that we're gonna go at... We're not gonna use the screw again, because it's stripped out, basically. I mean, look at that. Can you see that? This camera doesn't have autofocus, unfortunately. Well, oh well, I dropped the screw anyway, so I guess I'll just... It's not a big deal. I have extra screws I can use, thankfully. Because I had an aftermarket case, or shell replacement that came, and it came with screws in it. So, basically, I can go ahead and pilfer screws from that, and I should have everything I need. So it looks like we got all the screws out. Of course, there's some hanging on, but I can't lift those out with my screwdriver. So I'm going to go ahead and just pop the case off here. Hopefully we can get... Okay, so I'm just going to lift gently. Now, when I do this, it's gonna... Those screws aren't coming out. You got to get those other screws out, because it's keeping the whole thing from coming apart. There's one. All right. This one has to come out because it's in my way. And it's literally in my way to get the case off because it's still grabbing on enough that it's gonna be in the way. So, all right, now we're gonna take the case off, and it's pretty easy. It's not hard to take the case off these things at all, as long as you know what you're doing. You want to go ahead and get a fingernail into this little area here so you can pop this off, just like that. You can see it came open. And often when you take this off, these L and R buttons are going to come unsprung. So that's, oops. And of course, you know, your volume slider and your power slider often is going to come off too and fall in your way. So just keep that in mind. I'm going to go ahead and place this somewhere else because I don't need it right now. It's taking up room on the table that I don't have. And basically, here are the L and R buttons, okay? So as you can see right here, this is pretty intense. There's a lot going on here. So I don't understand why this is the R button. Because normally, when you have the system, you know it's going to be facing this way, right? So it'll be facing like that. So this is L and this is R. So you have to think in reverse. So this is the L button. As you can see, I've made some modifications to it to get it to contact the clicker mechanism. And then the other one, though, it seems like it's contacting just fine. So I think that there could be literally an internal break, like an internal break in the actual contact right here. So, I don't know if you can see where I'm pointing. Let me use the Nintendo DS stylus to point. This right here. You gotta get in front of my camera. It's really hard because it's all backwards. But as you can see, this right here. This is what I'm talking about. This contact right here is really causing problems, I think. I think that either it's come unsoldered at some parts during the board, or where it contacts the board has come unsoldered somehow, and this one is so loose that I think that it's really just about to break off. So I'm not thrilled about this. I really want to fix this one and this one, but these two little things are so fragile that I'm really kind of more tempted just to buy a new board and put the board in, unconnect all the ribbon cables and stuff like that, and then I'll be able to get a functional system again. But I don't know. I mean, we'll see what we can do. It could be, I mean, since, you know, these boards are they're basically disposable. I mean, if something breaks, and if you have really, really good soldering skills, you might be able to fix it, but things are really, really tiny on this thing. And I know my soldering skills aren't up there, like, for that kind of demand. So what I'm going to do is just take this button off here. You can see right here, I kind of took some medical tape and kind of just built this up a little bit. And the reason I did that is because this little pillar here on the buttons, it doesn't reach far enough when this contact is worn out. So basically, I've had to build it up a little bit so that it'll contact the button and continue to push it. And so that's why I added that tape there. It's kind of a clothy tape. So, and the reason I did that is because the clothy tape wouldn't be abrasive, and it probably wouldn't get goo everywhere as it got older, because the gauzy tape is just, it's not really, how do you explain it? It compresses well in a small area, and it kind of just stays there. So it worked for my uses, so I used it. But here is that contact I've been telling you guys about. So right there, you see that? It's not loose to like, it's not visibly loose. It's definitely not tight. It still clicks, but it doesn't click very well. As you can hear right here. You can see that it's in decent condition, but it's not. There you go. That's it right there. That little button right there is what I need to get this to touch, and it is, which is really what I don't understand, is this is touching that button, and it is contacting, and it is clicking it, so it should be working. So the main thing that I fix most of my problems, guys, and this is probably going to surprise you, the main thing of how I fix my stuff is I use this electronic cleaner right here, and I just spray it on it and hope for the best. And usually it's because there's some dust or buildup or something in there in the way, making a mess. And so that's basically how I can get most things working again, because I get the grime out. And sometimes you don't always see the grime, but it's still there. So that's, yeah. All right, so let's go ahead. We're going to take this electronics cleaner and see if we can get some into that contact there. And I don't know. I'm going to zoom in for this. Hopefully. All right. So like right there, it's going to evaporate really quick too. So all right. Probably used a little too much, but it doesn't matter because I really want to get down inside. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click it. I want to make sure to click this button and get that stuff worked in. Yeah, it's really loose. Like with any kind of pressure at all on it, it's pretty darn loose. So I basically had to click it with my finger because I'm really afraid that I'm going to break this thing off. You can see that it's leaning a bit. It's hard to see it on camera, but it's just a little bit back, like it's about to come off of the board. So this is a main flaw that I've seen in Nintendo DS Lite hardware, is that there really is nothing keeping you from mashing your buttons too hard. And if you mash your L and R buttons too hard, you can literally break these off of the main board, which I consider a huge design flaw and a huge problem, because that's never good. And it's definitely leaning. I can tell from an overhead view that it's not the way it should be. Oh well, we'll see how that works. So basically, I think that we could probably power this up without the case on it. That didn't work too well. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get this thing on. Oh my gosh, it's actually going to turn on. I can't believe it. I am such a geek. Okay. So what I need now is I'm going to need a way to run a game, because otherwise I'm not really going to know. Oh wait, yes I will. Because this little test here, if it clicks at all, it's going to actually respond. This is so difficult to do. So I'm going to be looking at this. You probably aren't going to be able to see this like I will, guys, on camera, because I'm going to have to look at it like a whole different way. All right. So all right. You might be able to see it. So I'm going to reach back there and get this contact where I'm going to press it. And look at this. I'm actually holding the battery on there with my fingers, guys. It's like crazy. I had no idea you could actually get it to turn on like that. This system is like a dream when it comes to servicing it. All right, let's go ahead and flip it on here. Wait. There's a little slider switch right there. All right. As you can see, it's asking me it's going through the beginning setup. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and see if this will give me any kind of response. Ooh, it clicked. It did. It actually gave it input. Did you see that, guys? Oops. Ouch. Those springs are really sharp. I'm going to move that over. Okay, well, that sort of worked. I'm going to zoom out a little bit, guys, so I can have more wiggle room in the camera here. We've got the battery pressed on there. We're going to run it through another test here. You can see we turned it on, and we've got the screen running, so that's good. And now we're going to try to press this terminal back and see if we can give it any kind of input. So let's see here. It's really hard to do this. I'm going to need to switch hands, I think. A black and white DS? Yes, exactly. Savage Gamer. This is my case cost customization that I did. I took parts from my white DS and my black DS and kind of married them together a little bit, switched them out a little bit, put a different plate on the back, and some other stuff. So I like the way it turned out. It looks like something from the 50s, like black and white, monochrome, pretty cool. You know, I like it. You can't buy them like this, so, you know, it's kind of a unique thing that it's just my DS only, so it's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and flip this on. This is really difficult, guys. Okay, so it's asking me for initial setup again. So basically, here is the button that we're going to press. And we're going to try to get it to... Okay, I pressed it and it did actually respond. Alright, what about the R button? Let's check the R button out and see if that one does it too. Okay, so let's go ahead and press that R button here. Okay, so they are working, so that's good news. Okay, so what I take away from that, guys, basically, is that means that probably the buttons are working just fine, but the way that the contacts are working just fine, but the way that the buttons press on the contacts may be causing problems. Like either they're not contacting all the way or they're not lining up with the contacts on the board so they can press that thing. I just call it a thing because I don't know what it's called. Contact switch or something. And so the only thing I can think of doing is kind of just working with the this tape that I put on here on this other button and trying to get it so that it will be built up a little bit thicker. Hopefully it's a little bit thicker, it will actually contact that button sooner without having to... Apparently it's being pressed so far into the case that it might be reaching the end of its travel here. It might be ending up and hitting this lip on the side of the case. So, because your max travel distance is like a couple millimeters, as you can see right there. That's about how far it will go into your console when you're pressing that button. So if this is not going far enough to actually make contact, that could be problematic. So I think that might be what's going on, actually. There's no way to really know. There's not really a great way to test that. Unfortunately, it's set by trial and error. So we're going to take this battery off again. Man. Well, while I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and clean all the switches with electronics cleaner, because why not? I'm in here, right? I always love to spray some electronics cleaner into my cartridge reader, the GBA slot, and also the game card slot, because it can't hurt it. I mean, you want to keep those terminals as clean as you can, and those contacts as clean as you can, and all of those pins, so that you have really good reading on your game cards. Of course, if your game cards are if they are actually worn out, it's not going to help you a single bit. But hey, at least you know you cleaned it, right? So I'm going to go ahead and do the headphone port here. And this is probably a little too much, but I like to be thorough. We're going to do the volume slider. You want to keep your volume hardware, your volume sliders and all of your sliding hardware on your DS pretty clean, because if any dust gets in there, it's going to get all staticky and stuff eventually. These aren't as prone to that as like some older systems are. Like, especially if you had like a volume knob. Volume knobs were way more susceptible to dirt and grime, making it fuzz out and alternate between loud and soft. So, yeah. Wii projects are what happen when the Savage Gamer is on quarantine. Nice. Yeah, we got to do something, right? Alright. Go ahead. I like to clean everything with my cartridge, with my electronics cleaner. Because it's just really good at cleaning stuff. Keep dropping stuff. Now I have to respray that because it already evaporated and I dropped what I was trying to do. Just working it on the pins, and I need a something to do that with that really touches all the pins, just to make sure I'm thorough, you know. Now I'm going to take my my game card slot here and point it upwards and try to get some cleaner in that as well. You can see back there that I really need to get back there. Let's go ahead and see if I can. Well, I can't see like where it's gonna actually. There we go. It ran out the back. Did you see that, guys? Just kind of working it in and out so that hopefully I will be able to get all those terminals cleaned. Looks pretty darn clean to me. One final thing I like to do, guys, to make sure I really get that cartridge slot really good and clean, is get some cleaner on the cartridge itself, or on the game card, and then shove that in real quick. That way I know that I'm really going to be putting the liquid onto the pins that are going to be reading my game. That way I know it will really actually make good contact. The only weak point with this is that mechanically, if the slot's worn out, it might be hard for the pins to make contact and be, you know, springy enough to actually go down against the gold terminals when they're contacting each other. So the quality of the connection that you're going to get could vary, but at least you know it's clean, so that's pretty good. That's about all that I can clean except for the power. Okay, I don't remember if I did that one or not, but I'm going to go ahead and get the R button clean as well. This stuff burns a little bit. That's alright. It evaporates so quickly. Looks pretty darn clean. That's pretty awesome. Sorry about staying on camera, guys. It's kind of difficult to line this up. Surprisingly. Now what I'm going to do is put the buttons back on. Hopefully I can do that pretty quickly here. There we go. And this is the R button. I'm going to try to get the R button. Almost lost it. This is really tricky to get these to go on, guys. I see what I did. Basically, I didn't get the spring on the other side of it, so I got to redo this. Sorry, I'm like eating the microphone. It's like way in my face. So yeah. Oh no, come back. Don't go back there. Man. Okay. Almost lost it. So many tiny parts in this thing, guys. Boy, it is hard to get that little pole in. You want to make sure that you have the spring the other side of the plastic, or else it won't do any good. It's got to be taut. It's got to be springy, and it won't catch if it's not like that. So okay, we got the button on there. Alrighty. So honestly, I think that the poles on these buttons, the way they're cast, I think that they should have been longer so that they made better contact with the buttons on the board, but for whatever reason they didn't want to do that. So I'm gonna have to mod them and make them longer myself, or just hope for the best. Well, it's clicking, so we'll just go ahead and see how it holds up. Ah, dang it. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the case back on, because I need to have those buttons held down, because they're not going to stay there. Okay. They do sound funny when they get struck by lightning. So the buttons are clicking. They should be making excellent contact. I'm going to go ahead and pop the battery back in here and see if I can get some better mileage out of this thing. And let's go ahead, flip that power switch. Sweet. We have no volume, but we do have power switch, so but the power switch is in the wrong position. It's probably why it was hesitating going on, which this is really not a good thing because it means I have to like undo work back of what I just did. Okay. Whenever you put the case back on, you want to make sure that the power slider is all the way back because that's its default resting position. Thing was a little bit cloudy. I wasn't sure why. I'm kind of cleaning it off a little bit. Right. Oh yeah. Now it went on a whole bunch better. Way easier too. All right. Let's go ahead, pop that battery in here. We should be ready to do a little test here. All right, so we're gonna lift up the button. It works. Okay, this is great. All right, so we're gonna pop in our R4 and check this thingy out. Go ahead and see. All right, so let's go ahead and check it out here. I want to get a game that I can get a good test of the L and R buttons. A game that kind of relies on it, so to say, more than other stuff. I don't know why it froze like that. Oh well, let's go ahead and try that again. So let's go ahead and go download my favorite games. All right. Hope this works. I only need it to work well enough to get a good test of the L and R buttons, so it's okay if it's not like super involved. Has a very long loading screen. All right. Use our trusty stylus here. All right. So let's go ahead. Oh yeah. That's what I'm talking about. So now on the Game Boy Advance version, I could use the O and R buttons to switch the menu, but I have to use the touchscreen on the DS version. I'm not sure that the R button's working. Nope. The R button's sticky now. So maybe it was just really dirty. I'm testing how hard I have to push it. I want to barely have to press it at all. Meanwhile, the R button, I'm having to like really kind of crunch down to get it to work. So that tells me that basically we're going to have to actually maybe extend the travel of the R button, make that post longer inside the button so that it contacts the board sooner, because it's really not seeming like it's making tons of great contact, which is surprising to me, but hey. Oh man. Well, that sucks. Actually, that's the button we needed to get anyway, so it's not that bad of a deal. All right. It's kind of ironic that the L button, which is normally the culprit when it comes to buttons which fail first out of the shoulder buttons on the DS Lite, that the R button is really the one that's having the problem. So, but I can see that the R button looks like it's worked back from the board a little bit. If this continues to be an issue, guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up with some sort of way to brace these contacts on the board. Honestly, this should have been done as part of the initial design of the DS anyway, I think. But what I'm talking about, guys, is you can see that this is a solid component here, right? This is soldered down. It's not going anywhere. This power connection right here. So what I'm thinking is getting like some block of plastic here and putting it behind this contact switch right here, so that it will brace it against the power button here. And it's kind of hard to explain, but I'm just wanting to close this gap so that this can't flex at all anymore, because right now that is the main thing. And I actually had a board where one of these broke off in the past, so that I know it's going to happen. I just don't know when. So I might as well get some sort of bracing worked out, and this will probably be a future video, guys, that I can put here between the power connection and this button, especially since this is the this is the R button. On this side, there's nothing to brace against. So what I'll have to do is, since when the case goes on, there's going to be a screw that comes down there. I'm going to have to figure out and measure just how far I can extend a piece of plastic here so that the screw will contact it. This is actually the hole, the screw hole that's going to go line up with that that place right there. So as you can see, it's not extended, so it doesn't come down like these, and it certainly doesn't come down like this. So you have a big old big cylinder here that you could brace against, and it's going to go down, so if something's inside of the system, it could brace up against that and use part of the case for that purpose. But since that one's flat, I'm going to have to really kind of come up with some sort of thing to jam there that's going to be solid and keep that from flexing. Because that's the L button, and that's usually the one that breaks off first. So I'm trying to fix that. But right now, I just want to make sure I can restore the functionality of the button itself. So I'm going to have to do another test, and this is going to be a little more complicated because I'm going to need to do this without the case on, and that's going to be real fun because I want to make sure how far this can travel. And I need to know, is it that I hook it up the conventional way, when I put the pole in with the spring, is the spring keeping it from going all the way, or do I just need to leave it without a spring in it, and then maybe it will continue to make contact that way? Like, it could be that I don't even need springs for these buttons, because the only thing that returns it to the open position after pressing it is the is the what do you call it? The only thing that keeps it being springy is the contact itself. So if I can continue to keep that springy, it should be fine. And yeah, as you can see, there's nothing holding it in right now. That's the main thing. But see, once the case goes on, this isn't going to pop out. So maybe that's my solution, is just to take the spring out. But we'll see. So let's go ahead and flip it over again. Turn it on. All right. Let's go ahead and there we go. There went the L button. It's okay, I don't need the L button right now. Yep, it's actually worn out. So we may be looking at a new mainboard, guys. A new motherboard for our DS, because I'm pressing it without any spring attached, and it's still not really activating it every single time. So the button is actually worn out, I think. As you can see right there. Yeah, I'm pressing it. Yeah, I basically had it like pressed down already, and before it actually registered any response, I had to press it further, like after it was already pressed down. But that's never a good sign. That's basically a sign that it's worn out completely. Alright guys, watch closely, I'm going to press it. It registered that time. But that time it didn't. See? That's twice now that it didn't register. If I barely press it, it won't register. But if I press it with a little more gumption, it will actually register and make an input. The thing about having the buttons pressing the contact instead of your fingers is your fingers are flexible, so they aren't really going to give you any kind of tactile response like the button will. So you may be pressing it harder than you think you are just to get it to register, and it seems like it's going to work fine, right? But then when you put the button on and then you use the little pole and the button to press that contact on the board, it's actually showing you that it takes quite a bit more force to get it to activate. See, I pressed it with my finger and it worked fine. So basically, the temporary solution for this is the same thing we did for this L button. So we're going to take some medical tape and some cloth tape and kind of just pile it up on here so that it will have to travel less before it hits that contact on the board. So you want to press it as hard to get it to register, and that way it should work. So hopefully that's what I'm hoping anyway. But I need to reassemble this button here before I do all that. Well, after I do all that. So I'm going to need to find that tape that I'm talking about. Enjoy some old videos, guys, from my channel that you may not have seen. I'll be back soon, and hopefully we can get this thing fixed and back together and running.
Hey guys, it's me, Bowser64. Hey, what's up guys? It's me, Bowser64, here with my go-kart, which you probably never even knew I had. And basically, I'm down at this site with lots of dirt, and I'm gonna be running donuts around and around and around until it makes you sick. It's gonna be so much fun, and check it out, dude. It's gonna be awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna be doing donuts around that tree there, or around that area around that tree there, and I'll probably be going around that big old tree over there. It's probably off camera a little bit, and you know, it may not actually, you know, you might not see all my action there, but I'm gonna be in the space between two trees doing donuts, and now it's overcast, so it's perfect shooting light. So let's go, check it out. Alright. Well, excuse me. I'm coming up, so you better get this party started. Yeah, man. Are you ready for this? Let's go. Okie dokie. Are you ready for the ultimate? Let's do it!
Alright guys, so I got the tape I was looking for. I can't believe I actually was able to find it again. This is adhesive tape. Shield Products, Downsview, Ontario, Canada, I guess. So it's really good stuff. It's pretty useful. It's easy to tear. And it's cloth. So it's very well suited to our purpose because it's not paper, so it's not gonna and the adhesive is pretty high quality, so it's almost like a plastic tape, like it kind of binds to itself. So it's really perfect for what we need to do. Which what we're gonna do is we're gonna put some tape on the on this button here. You can see right there. So this little pole right there, we need to surround that in tape. So it's going to increase the length of this pole so that it should contact that terminal. That contact on the board, the R button terminal on our DS Lite, and get it to work. So that's basically what I'm hoping anyway. So I'm gonna get a decent amount of tape here and kind of just shove it in there and try to get it to go on that. Trying to get it to go onto the button here. And I think I got too much tape, so I'm just gonna tear it a little bit here. Alright, now I'm going to try and get it to go onto this little pole here. get my screwdriver and kind of shove it on, because I got to get it down in there. It's actually really good for this purpose. It's really almost made for it, it seems like, so pretty great. As you can see, it just kind of folds up in there real nice. It's really amazing how easily you can cram this tape into small spaces. I don't want it sticking out though from the button, because I don't want it to get in the way of the travel when it's being used. So that should help, guys. Alright, we got that button. We shoved some tape in there. As you can see, we increased the length of the pole quite a bit. At least another millimeter. Millimeter anyway, it seems like. So that's pretty good. Now I'm going to go ahead and reassemble the button with the spring and the little pole. And we're going to do another test and see if that will fix it. You can see this is the R button. So hopefully this will work. Can't make any promises though. I don't lose the spring. These springs are hard to find. I don't want to lose them. Back. Here we go. Okay. We got that one in. Okay, so that button's in. Now we're going to put the L button back in. Now we're going to put the case back on and see if we fixed it. Now that both buttons have that, crap. Gotta get this fixed here. Okay, now that both buttons have that gauze on them, hopefully that will help them make better contact, is the idea anyway. Put this battery back in. And put our R4 back in. And we should be good to go. Go ahead and hang on, see. Sweet. So let's go ahead and do another test here. Hope for the best. Takes a while for this game to load for whatever reason. Takes a little bit for the R button to get worked in. The L button still seems like it's a little bit floppy and a little bit loose to me. So I don't know why that is. Trying to not do that. Oh, I know what I should do. I should do create an herb. And then L and R does something. So, for some reason, it's still not registering input. I don't know why. The L button is. See? But the R button is doing nothing. Which I don't understand. Because it works without that much force when I press it Now it's not working at all. Okay, well, let's load a save file and see if we're really doing a good test. Because like every third time that I press it, it actually does something. Okay, so the work continues. Yeah, I think Toad broke the R button too. I think you're right. Okay, well, we still needed that gauze on there so that it would still increase the contact. But what we may need to look at is something different here. And yep, it's just as I feared. That's about to come right off of the main board. Yeah, that's really not what I wanted to find. But hey, 20 bucks or so for a new motherboard isn't that bad. Of course, it's used. Who knows what it's been through up to that point. It's not like a whole one-to-one brand new thing, which really what I want, but it's just, it looks so loose. And even if I release the tension and pull the button back, it's still acting as if it's not really attached to the board all the way, like it's about to break off. So I really don't understand, because the last time we put this together, it was the L button that was having the problem, and now it's the R button. I was like, what? What is the problem? That button at least to work some of the time. If I have to reflash my R4 or something like that, any of my flash cards, I rely on this system. Try something else. Maybe I made it too thick. Maybe I need to actually thin it down a little bit. So hopefully the gauze was too thick, and that might be what was causing it. Maybe it was overstressing it, but somehow I doubt it. Although now it looks like it's not falling off of the board. So, I don't know, go figure. This is what I'm looking at, guys. This right here. It's really tough. Right there. Well, hope for the best, I guess. We'll see. Okay, we'll put the case back on. Hope for the best. Now, it could be that once I screw everything in, screw everything down, it could be better performance than it's giving, but I wouldn't hold my breath. Yeah. Now the R button's not even working at all. Like, literally not at all. One, two. I really got my microphone figured out, because even if I tap on it, it doesn't turn on. I really have to beat on it. Like, if I nudge it, it won't turn on. So that no more microphone bumps, guys. Alright, so let's go ahead. Not load an herb. Let's go to create an herb. Alright, let's see. Boy, I really have to hammer this thing. Like, I feel like I'm about to break it. This is how hard I'm having to push it, guys, to get it to work at all. I'm serious. Meanwhile, the L button's just fine. Like, I barely have to touch it. And that sucks. Okay, let's take this apart again. If the 46th time isn't working, try again. Alright, let's go ahead. Get this thing off again. Alright guys, I don't know of anything else to do except maybe add more of this tape onto it. And kind of shove it in there, because I don't know how else to get this thing to work. I'm really kind of sick of it. I'm really getting frustrated here. This has gone beyond of the, oh, let's try and fix this, to like, I really thought I would fix this, but it's not working kind of thing. So I'm trying to really get this to not be in doing all this weird stuff. So trying to fix it. We'll see. There's got to be a way to get this to work. I mean, sooner or later, I'm going to figure out what's causing the issue. Alright, that's so stuffed in there now that we're probably just going to break it off. Probably going to break the terminal off the board because we're going to stress it back so far. But once this works, I will know if I need to add something back there. It's going to be tight, but it might work. Let's go ahead and see. Do you see how fast I did that, guys? Is it obvious I've done this a few times? Probably more than I need to. Alright. Oh yeah. R4 time. Want to make sure. Yeah, I mean, it's okay to check the input single press. Like, if I do the Nintendo DS setup, it's gonna be like single press. It's fine, but darn it. I forgot to look at the power button again. Now it's in the wrong place. Hey, like I'm saying, guys, the Nintendo DS setup menu, it will register the inputs once to start the process, but I won't be able to really test the button in the setup like I could with an actual game. So that's basically what I'm trying to figure out here. Go ahead and turn it on. Always a good sign when it boots up. Let's boot up herbs. This stream is mainly about me fixing my DS Lite, so oh man. Alright. No, not load, create. Here we go. Well, it doesn't work very well, but at least it's working somewhat. Except now it's not working at all. Okay. What that tells me is we need to do some cartridge cleaner. Again. Like, we need to do more electronic cleaner, probably. I have the chat off of the screen, guys, because I don't really have room for that to be on top of what I'm trying to show, because this is a very detail-oriented stream. So let's take this button off. Right, some real good cartridge or a real good electronic cleaner in there. Real good lack. All right. It's like so much of it too. Hey Fords, how are you? Yeah, most people probably get a new DS, but I'm like, why get a new one when I can fix it? So let's see if this worked at all. I'm really hoping it did. Because it's almost acting like it needs to be cleaned inside still. Ah. Put one button on, the other pops off. It's... Alrighty. Let's hope for the best again. Make sure that... Okay, time for another test. Hopefully it will work this time. Not even clicking. This thing is like jammed. I don't know why it's not clicking. Must have done something wrong. Let's go ahead and take this off again. Yay! I did open my PS2 though, wouldn't read disc, just had to clean the laser. Did you use a laser cleaning disc before you opened it? That should fix the issue usually, if you have a disc with a brush on it. Or a DVD or something that cleans your disk drive. Usually it's pretty effective. See here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try something really weird. I'm going to take the spring out, and I'm going to take the pole out that holds the spring, and then put this back on, because maybe that's what it needs. Maybe it's too taut. Maybe it's too tight with the spring in there to work. All right, here we go. And this thing is messed up. It's not even registering in the setup menu. It's definitely not worth going through a whole test for. Yeah, I've heard that alcohol actually leaves a residue, but usually it's not worth worrying about. I've never had it be an issue anyway. See. The main thing is I have to do this because I need a working DS. Because sometimes I have to do testing on stuff, and I really need an actual console to do that. And if my flash carts need upgrades, then I have to have a original DS. Sometimes you're too sober for this, Bowser. Well, definitely made the button more sensitive. Ought to work. It ought to work real well. Open. Let's see. Pressing A won't do a single thing. It's still stuck. Won't be able to do anything until it gets to the menu. Okay, there we go. Alright. Come on. Dude, I'm having to punch this button like crazy. Yeah, this is a this is kind of a little case mod that I did of different systems. I swapped out case parts and stuff like that, parts of the shell. So I actually started, this is the mostly original. I bought this DS Lite and it came with this really good quality shell on it. And I just kind of wanted to go back to that because I had aftermarket shells and none of them really kind of stand up to the quality that the Nintendo ones have. So okay, well, I think that I think we're gonna have to flatten this a little bit more. Okay. That's pretty flat. It's about as flat as it's gonna get. So hopefully, no. Gotta put the L button back. At least it didn't come undone. Gotta pop it in there. There we go. Alright. Pretty great. Super excited. This is about how long this actually takes, guys, to do this. I had no other plans for today, so hopefully I will have a working DS by the end of this whole shenanigan here. Let's pop this back in. I think I'll probably get it in there. Oh man. No, 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 no. Ah, dang it. Ow! Whew. Man, those springs are sharp. Man, there was like a needle into my finger. Major tension on those things. There we go. Got that. Alright. Now, let's go ahead and reconfigure the button to work again. Let's... Man, I'm really starting to get frustrated here. I'm ready for something to go right. I might need a... treat after this. Alright. And on ya little sucker. Ooh, that's the wrong way, sucker. There we go. Ouch. Okay, well, we are making progress at least. If this doesn't work, I'm probably going to give up. Because we'll probably just order a new board. Because these things are like 70, 80 bucks new if I want to get a good one in good condition again. So I might as well repair what I have. I mean, the button's not clicking anymore. The R button's not clicking anymore. The L button's working fine, which is weird because when I first started this, it was the L button that had the issue. Now, both of them have changed, or one has changed position with the other. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go out on a limb here and say this is basically beyond repair, because I really don't think that it can be repaired. No, I didn't break R. R suddenly decided to have an issue after L was fixed, which makes no sense at all. Really surprising, because I already worked on the other one, and it was working fine. And I don't break anything on my consoles. I just want to make that straight with you guys right now. I take really good care of my consoles, so this is a design flaw right here. Just to set that record straight right there. The only thing I can think of doing is take off this extra layer of tape. This maybe is making it too thick. Yeah, that's what I was saying, Ford, earlier, is I'm thinking about getting a new main board because this can't be fixed. It's beyond repair, I think, but we're doing a last-ditch effort to see if maybe we can get it to work. So hopefully it will pay off. Let's see, though. Actually, I said that at the beginning of the stream, too, that I was thinking about getting a board because I figured that was probably what's going to have to happen because it is having tons of issues that even with all the cleaning and all of the finagling, it's still not working. So hopefully this will be the one time that it actually works and we finally figured out to get it. Even then, I still want to get a new main board because I need complete working condition. Yeah, it's totally not even clicking at all right now. I think I might have figured out what the issue is. I think I'm jamming it down there, and you see how much that's flexing, guys? That's about to break off the board. Like after another 100 times of doing that, it's probably going to break right off, snap right off of the board. Alright guys, well, it's official. I think I'm giving up. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to reassemble this and put it back together so I don't lose any pieces. I think I might have just almost lost pieces. Oh, I got lucky. It's like right between. All right, we're putting the case back on for reals this time. Hopefully. Okay, volume slider is working. That's a good sign. Light switch is working on the power. At least the button's clicking now, which is an improvement from last time. Yep, originally wasn't going to stream this, but then I was like, you know, if I'm going to take this thing apart, it'd probably be kind of cool to include everybody on that experience, because who knows what I'm going to find. I was in this yesterday, upgrading the case and changing parts out and stuff like that, but I was thinking, you know, it might be fun to go through this together, see if maybe we can figure out a way to fix this thing. Well, if we mash the button, it'll work, so we might be able to get a few more clicks out of it before it snaps off of the board. Oh well, guys, that's about as good as we're going to get. So we're going to go ahead and put the screws back in here and reassemble this puppy. I'm a little disappointed with what I've found going through this whole experience, because I really thought that I would be able to fix this. Normally, I can fix stuff like that, and I don't fail, but I didn't really fail this. It's just that it's beyond repair. So it is what it is, basically. Just saying. And, you know, you can't always walk out of every situation victorious. And this thing was so close to snapping off of the main board that we really can't afford to dicker with it much more. Because it's just beyond that. I gotta go get a different screw to put in this thing. Actually, you know what? I'll just hope for the best. Make sure to use the larger screwdriver ahead to take it out the next time. Hey, fake Miku, what's up, man? I'm just finishing up the last touches on sort of repairing my DS Lite. At least I cleaned the L and R buttons. Couldn't get the R button to work, which is ironic because when I first started the stream, it was the L button that wasn't working. So, don't know what that's all about, but hey. Basically, long story short, just gonna go ahead and order myself a new motherboard for my DS Lite here. And hopefully that will fix the issue, because after lots of finagling and stuff, it doesn't seem like it's really going to help much to do anything past this point, because it really seems like the actual button is about to break off of the board. So if we mess with the contact anymore, it's going to really screw it up, I think. So yeah, oh well, it is what it is. We got all the screws back in, looks like. I think that we got it in anyway. Looks like it. Alright. Volume slider works, power works. We are ready to reassemble completely. So let's just go ahead and pop that cover back on. Get a Phillips head. And we're good to go. Okay. Put the cartridge slot protector back in. And put the R4 back in after we clean it off a little bit. Alrighty. This is kind of a fun little case mod that I did. Basically, I took parts from a couple of my DS Lites and mixed them together. So I got buttons from my white DS mixed with parts from my black DS. Actually, these are the internals of my black DS, which was the only working one. The one that was white had issues, and it's probably the oldest one. So I kind of like swapped parts between all of them. Basically swapped the housing and the shell to kind of come up with this dual tone black and white monochrome 50s look a little bit. I really like it. I like how it turned out. Looks pretty sweet. And it looks really spiffy. I call it the Oreo. It's my Oreo design. Is black and white and clamshell. Yeah, you know, white. It's a reverse Oreo, actually, because you got the icing on the outside and the chocolate in the middle. But, oh well. So let's go ahead and see if by chance, after we put all the screws in, the button's going to work. I highly doubt it, but hey, why not try? Really annoying, I can't skip this intro. Well, nope. It only worked like one time. Well, at least the L button works. So we got 50% success rate. Well, hey, at least this system looks snazzy and nice, right? So it's a good decoration. Now,
Hello. Let me just go ahead and turn on my old film reel recorder here.
actually, I already turned it on, but anyway. Okay, well, I don't know where the stylus went. But it doesn't really matter. Put my tools up. Well, that does it, guys. Thanks for watching. Unfortunately, I was really hoping that we would be able to actually fix that L and R button and get it to work, but no bueno. All right, no, it's not gonna happen apparently. So basically, what we're gonna do, we're gonna jump online, order ourselves a new motherboard for our system. Hopefully, that should work, and hopefully, we'll just kind of throw that in, disconnect all the rhythm tape cables. Hook it up, everything should be good, including the buttons, hopefully. So, at some point, you just have to buy a new one, you know, and I think we've basically reached that point. We've tried to clean it with electronics cleaner, tried to spray this stuff in there and work it through the terminals and work it through the contacts and all that. No go. So, oh well, guys. Don't forget to follow me at all these great locations here. You can find me on Twitter at BowserN64, Mixer at BowserN64, Twitch at BowserN64, and Facebook at Bowser Koopa. Also have the Discord link in the description of this video on YouTube and Facebook, and also on the screen right there. Just go ahead and throw that in your browser. Takes you to an invite page. Go ahead and hit accept, and you should be in my server where you can chat with me in real time. We're also on streamlabs.com/BowserN64, so if you feel like donating to the stream, hopefully supporting some official Bowser N64 merchandise. Someday that would be awesome, but if not, you know, I totally understand too. Especially in these times, dude. I mean, like, people are like all crazy and stuff and like trying to make ends meet, and it's really difficult because no one can go to work right now and stuff like that. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to follow me and subscribe and smash that bell icon. Stay updated for future videos and updates. And guys, this has been me trying to fix my Nintendo DS Lite. So, yeah. There you go. So, you kind of saw it in the main camera here. You know what? Just go to that camera. There we go. And it's a pretty spiffy system. Again, in summary, we're just going to order a new mainboard. Throw that in there. Hopefully, it should fix all of our problems. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I will see you in the next one. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay up to date with everything, okay? Because I don't know when I'm gonna go live again. It's been a while since I've been live last time, but hopefully we'll be live again soon. Hopefully with like some like Hitman or something like that. All right, guys, I'm gonna sign out. Thanks so much for watching. This has been a little bit different than my normal streams. I was originally just gonna tear into this on my own off camera and be like, let's see what happens and try to fix this. But then I was like, they might want to watch this too, like all of my fans on YouTube, they might want to see this too. They might want to be part of this experience. So I was like, why not do a live stream? So, all right, guys. Well, thanks so much for watching again. And I will see you around with another video.